Maybe.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Fight Like Hell podcast. This is episode 50. Holy shit.
We're
Episode
halfway
50.
to
We're coming to
100.
you. We're halfway to 100 and two away from completing a year. We are coming to you today on Tuesday, March 1st, 2022, for those of you who are listening in the year 2047. And Austin, first off, how the fuck are you?
Terrible. I have to put up with your bullshit.
You had to put up with a lot of my bullshit, but we don't have to talk about that bullshit because we actually have one of your friends on today. Would you like to introduce your friend?
Yeah, so we have Slavi on. I'm gonna have you say your full name, Slavi, because I'm gonna butcher it.
Oh yeah, no problem. My name is Slavi Stepanovic. I just go by Slavi.
Okay, yeah, because I would have butchered that. So yeah, no, we have him on. He's a good friend of mine from we actually met on Instagram and been following each other for a while. So if yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna do our little promotion for our sponsor, and then we'll get into a little summary of Slavi. So the first official sponsor of the Fight Like Hell podcast is Invicta Coffee. We've been talking about them for weeks. They are a coffee company out of Arizona. They are a veteran owned coffee company that also does things where they give back parts of their proceeds for mental health for veterans and like suicide awareness. They're constantly helping. We've had Spencer on the podcast from Invicta, a really cool dude, another infantry guy. So we automatically like him right from the get go. And the promo code that we have for them is Fight Like Hell, all spelled out. That'll get you a discount at checkout. We can officially announce something too as part of this promotion. We are in the process of actually making a Fight Like Hell coffee that will be coming out hopefully in the near future.
Why you giving secrets away?
We've been like tiptoeing around this for a while now. I figured we could actually like maybe bring it up.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, some of the best coffee out there though, hands down. Still one of my favorites is the bourbon and pecan with Sister Dale Brewery, or excuse me, distillery, which also we'll be talking about hopefully in the near future, are possibly bringing their owners on as well. But more importantly, let's get back to the podcast and actually talk about our guests here. So, Slavi, why don't you tell our listeners just a little bit about yourself?
All right. Name's Slavi. Came over here from former Yugoslavia back in the 90s. Just here with my family, trying to get the American dream. It's basically where I'm at.
Yeah.
And that's
okay.
That's all. Just a little bit about me. I mean, we can get into depth about everything else, but yeah.
Yeah, and we definitely will. Austin kind of like previewed me on your backstory, and we're actually very excited to get into it and ask you probably a decent amount of appropriate and very inappropriate questions as
All
well.
right.
Hey. But I guess we'll kick off with weekend adventures. Austin, what did you do over the weekend?
Just business stuff. Nothing. Same thing as usual. I do every weekend.
Just business in preparation for the March for Miles.
Nope, I don't care about that. Not important.
Yeah, of course you don't.
Yeah. Speaking of March for Miles, I mean, it's going really well though.
It is going well. We'll get into that right after we do like our weekend summaries.
Okay.
Unless you just want to like completely fuck up the format of the podcast.
I just don't want to cover your weekend.
I mean, here's the thing. I don't even remember what I did this weekend. I think I hiked a little bit. I can't remember. I don't think I actually left town.
I don't remember.
I think it was a calm weekend from what I remember, but I don't remember. Yeah. Oh, it was a short weekend. That's what's fucked up.
Oh yeah.
I end up only having 2 days off. Yeah, because I'm taking Friday off instead.
I mean, Thursday you went snowboarding.
Oh yeah, and there was like, what was it? 27 inches of like new snow.
Yeah.
So it was super good out here. Slavi, if you didn't know this, Arizona actually gets snow, especially at high
Wow.
elevation.
Oh.
And there's a town out here called Flagstaff that got a shit ton of snow over a couple day period and got to go out there and
Where do
shred
you
some
live again,
crisp
Rob?
cow.
Where do you live again?
Oh, a lot of you don't know this already, but the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, he lives at the Grand Canyon, Slavi.
No shit, really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he works
yeah.
for the Grand Canyon.
Above it. Like I can.
No,
look
he lives at
into
the
it.
bottom.
No, a lot of people think that, and with my internet situation out here, a lot of people actually really believe that. So,
What happened to your internet, Rob?
do we have to go over that? This is a very sore subject.
No.
All right, fuck it. I'll say it real quick. So, for the past 4 months, I have had Starlink pre-ordered, and they have been saying, we're going to release it this day, we're going to release it this day, and it just keeps getting pushed back. Well, I think it was probably about over a week ago, they officially announced that they were going to be releasing it to the people of the Grand Canyon, all the people that live out here and work out here. So I was super stoked. I took screenshots of it and sent it to my buddies. All theirs started arriving and mine didn't arrive. So the other day I went and looked at the email traffic between me and Starlink, only to find out that my order had been fucking canceled. And the reason why it got canceled was there's a big radial button in the email. It says click here to confirm your purchase or something like that. I didn't click the button, so they canceled it, and it gets even worse. It took me about 3 days to re-register for Starlink, and now they're telling me that they're at max capacity out here and that I might not get the service until sometime in late 2023. So yeah, a little sore subject. That was my weekend.
Damn Elon Musk.
Slavi. Yeah, no kidding. We need to get him as an official sponsor. Slavi, how was your weekend?
Weekend. Yeah. Short. Didn't really do anything. Went on a date.
Oh, I
Oh,
thought
That's about
shit.
it. Yeah.
for some reason I thought you were married, Slavi, but I guess
No,
not.
not married. I am a single man living the good life.
So is Rob's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
That's the way to go.
yeah. It's got its ups and downs, but I also don't get yelled at by a wife every time I'm on the phone, which
no one
usually
wants to talk
Austin
about.
does.
It's
Yeah.
because you just. It's because you just always call me. I'm just always just busy. Too busy to talk to you, even though you call me all the time. And then my wife just gets mad when you call me.
I know. She's always mad at me. And she takes it
know.
on you, which is awesome.
And then when she sees you, she's just gonna kick you right in the nuts.
I mean, I hope she doesn't. I hope we're better friends than that. But I'm pretty sure the future maybe girlfriend and or other girls might be very upset if she did that because it could ruin some future transactions. But enough about me. So Slavi, you went on a date. How did the date go?
So date was pretty good.
Okay.
So, we were supposed to go to a brewery. Some shit happened. So she has a son, so we went to an arcade, did all that stuff. Pretty cool, right? Awesome girl. I like her. Gonna date her. We'll go from there.
Oh shit.
She's going into law enforcement with trying to pursue her career in the DEA. So, but
there you go.
Not bad.
Federal agent.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
you had a good date. It's gonna
good date. So if I fuck up somehow, I might get deported. So there's always that.
What happened to Slavi?
His
back
DA
home.
girlfriend deported him. I guess let's get into. Was there anything else that you had happen over the weekend, Slavi, that you want to talk about, or any future plans coming up for this weekend?
This week, there's nothing really. Just going with the flow, I guess. I don't know. I don't have anything exciting going on.
Okay. Cool.
It's not cool. It's
And
lame.
I guess
You
we'll
can just say it. You can just say it, Rob. Just, yo, Slavi, your life fucking is boring. Just say it.
I mean, he says that to me all the time. It's okay.
I say it's
Yeah.
Austin all the time because I constantly do outdoor shit, but I never
Yeah, and I
make fun
saw
of
that.
our
That's
guests 'cause I
I
like
would
her.
like to do that, but
We
here,
can't be as not everybody can be as cool as Rob, you know.
yeah, it's this fucking weather sucks. It's cold, and then the one day it's 60 degrees, and now it's fucking cold again.
How far apart are you guys, like distance wise, like city wise?
Who?
You two, the
He
only
lives
other
in
two people I'm
Pennsylvania.
fucking
I know
talking.
what you're talking about.
Wait, you're on the East Coast?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where'd you think he was?
I thought he was in Oregon.
No.
I thought you knew him because he lived out there.
I said I knew. I said if you listen, I said I met him on Instagram.
All right, I'm gonna shut up for a minute. Austin, take back over.
Yeah.
Jeez, Rob.
Lots of head injuries.
Excuses. That's all I hear. So let's go into March for Miles. Let's talk about that. That started today. So we started a March for Miles program challenge today, where we just challenge people to get outside and get as many miles as possible for suicide awareness.
Which
Yep.
I think is an
And-
excellent program you got going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you gonna join us for any of that? Are you gonna get out and do some walks, man?
Absolutely. My fat ass definitely needs it. I have these tactical muffin tops going on, so I got to get rid of them. So, I'm definitely buying the shirt, and
Okay.
I'm
yeah.
going out there.
I mean, speaking of, what hoodie are you wearing, Slavi?
Oh yeah. It's really hard
home
to
of the
see,
Brave.
but I got the Brave hoodie from you.
Yeah.
I love this hoodie.
It's so soft, isn't it?
It is so soft. It just
It's the most. It's the most comfortable hoodie we have.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, and ironically, Austin, when you came up with the design for March for Miles, you ended up deciding going with that same camo pattern, actually.
Yeah, it's the same style.
Same style. It actually looks really good on the shirt. And a little bit about the shirt, if you're new to the podcast or you haven't seen the post that I think got shared over 90 times today. The March for a Mile shirt is a shirt that we're selling both on Save Our Six and on Vigilant and Humble. It sells for $35. Normally our shirts go for about $25. This one's going for $35 because we're taking $10 off the top of every sale on that shirt, and we're giving it directly to Mission 22, which is going to be the veterans organization that we're going to work with as like a charity thing. And we also even started a radial button on Instagram where you can go to some of the posts and you can choose to donate if you want to donate that way. You don't have to buy the shirt. We encourage you to buy a shirt just to help spread the word and to give back a little bit. Plus, you get something for it. But to be completely honest, like I just love going into our DMs and seeing all the people that are actually out there and putting in the work, putting in the miles. Like it's really cool. And then the gratitude that's been expressed towards all four companies, because we're working with Invicta Coffee, we're working with Honest Petco, Vigilant Humble, Save Our Six. And it's been really cool, like the commentary that has been going on behind the posts, the stories and stuff. Everyone's super appreciative, and people are trying to get outside even though like the weather may be shitty.
Yeah, Slavi, it's not an
Right.
excuse.
No, it's not an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
But no, yeah. I love what you're doing. I mean, I was telling Austin the other day, I was like, we did the same thing locally here. So I work for a nonprofit organization. We are Battleborn, and
Okay.
we did the same thing. I designed a shirt with a couple local companies, and all the proceeds are going to the organization to help veterans with whatever they need, mental health, physical, if they need somewhere to stay, all that stuff. So what you guys are doing, love it. Absolutely love it.
That's really cool that you're actually a part of something because you get it from the perspective of trying to set up almost like a fundraiser that's going to go out there and potentially help others. Because I mean that's kind of the ideology behind both of our companies. And then we're going to get into some of the stuff that you're doing. And personally, like anything that has to do with firearms and stuff is huge in the veteran community. So I guess we should just transition straight into it and like let's get a little bit of your backstory, like a little bit more detailed. Tell us where you're originally from. Tell us
Start with
about
the
coming
day you
over.
were born.
The
Tell
day
us,
I
yeah,
was
from the
born.
day you're
It was-
born, what your favorite color is, your
All right.
sign, your
So
moon.
it was a beautiful Monday morning. No. So I was born in May. All right, in a small village in former Yugoslavia, which is obviously no longer there. So it's broken down to many smaller countries such as Bosnia, Serbia, and so on. So my little village, little farm village, is in Bosnia. And I basically just grew up there for about 4 years. I was only 4 years old when I moved to the States. Um, Poor little country. All right. Parents wanted a better life. That's the American dream. Come over here, do right for your kids, and that's what my parents did for us. So my sister is actually the first one to graduate college in the whole entire family. I'm a late bloomer. It took me fucking 10 years just to get a bachelor's degree. So that's where I'm at. But
Okay. And then I wanna show a couple of these photos that you sent me, Slavi, that we were showing off. So like, cause you said this house, this is where you grew up, right?
yeah, that's my parents' home. It's very fucking tiny. It is. I can't even tell you. Like if you have other pictures of it, yeah. So simple. So you walk in and you're in the kitchen, and then there's a room in the back, and that's it. So that's basically where like my mom, me, and my sister stayed, and my father was actually in the military there. So when you hit 18, it's mandated that you go into the military for anywhere from 12 to like 16 months. All right. So while I was born and hanging out there, dad was out training. I mean, very poor little farm village. So, growing up with nothing and then
Okay. And you
coming
said
here.
and you said your father still owns the land, right?
Yeah, he still owns the land. We still have family there. It's like one of those like, old like US stories when you're like, yeah, my grandpa lived over here on this street and my grandmother lives on this street and my aunt and uncle live down the street. It's like that there. It's like one little road, dirt road, little farm village, and basically all family around it.
Okay.
And just not much going on there. So some things I remember, some things I don't. They used to burn tires at that time. Just burn trash. I used to fucking play in it. You know, uh, Covered all in black. Right. Just it was just a poor little town.
Hmm.
But
And then you said you went back in what 2012 was it?
yeah, I didn't move back. I went to
No,
visit.
yeah,
So
you went
like
to
my
visit.
first time visiting was back in 2012. So I didn't go over there for a long time.
Right.
And when I
And
went
how
over
was that?
there, what was that?
And how was that?
It was beautiful. Like it's it's peaceful living. You can work here all your life, right? Get a pension, get a 401k, whatever, retire, and you might be good, you might not be. Some people still work. They struggle, right?
Hmm.
Here, a lot of people from the village from Bosnia would go to work in Germany. My grandfather did that. He worked in Germany, and then when he got his pension, he moved back and he basically retired. So even my cousins, they all work, in different countries. And then when you get a pension and stuff like that, you can come back and you will live like a king because it's so easy. It's cheap. you know, just you just relax. You actually finally learn how to retire versus here you're still running around in a sense.
Yeah, I mean the
Mhm.
whole the whole culture of between here and there is completely different.
Oh yeah,
You
absolutely.
know, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, but when I visited, like I showed you some pictures, there's stuff like from the war. There's machine gun fire on buildings. There's
Hmm.
freaking where mortars and rockets landed. Some people would patch that up. Other people just abandon the houses. And
Yeah,
then
because
you
like
got
this one was an
yeah, this
artillery
was an
that hit.
artillery show. Like if you can zoom in on it, you'll see it. But yeah,
Yeah, right here.
and that's just passing by. And then there's that one. That's machine gun fire. There's actually a plaque that's right outside the house that says a woman's name. That's she was killed in the house.
So, do your parents tell you, because like being 4 years old, you said you have some memories, but
Man,
probably not like a ton of memories.
no,
What did your parents tell you it was like living there day in and day out, and what did it look like for the process of them coming to America and like trying to get a better life?
they told us we came from nothing for you kids. We moved here for you guys to have a better life and to have all the opportunities they couldn't have. My parents only finished high school. All right, they went to the local school, which was called Nikola Tesla High School. That's where they went to school, and it's different there. Like there were institutions and colleges and everything like that, but majority of people went into like almost a like a tech kind of school, like something where like
A trade school.
yeah, like trade school. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So my father went to be a waiter, and that was like a prestigious career at that time. Like to be a waiter and so on like that, and wait on people. But he didn't get to do it. He had to go to the military, and then when he came back, you know, there was nothing to do. I mean, for us, we would have just went to school there, found somebody near the town village, married, and then probably worked in Germany like everyone else or Switzerland. Um, that's about it. So my my dad, so he kind of after he told me the story how he did it, he kind of fucked up. I mean, my dad was kind of a border jumper in a sense, so he flew to Canada and then jumped the border and then went to Jersey where he met up with like my family that was already over,
Oh wow.
and he
Mhm.
got into construction work, working with asbestos and stuff like that, and then just scrummaging up money to send it back to my mom to bring us back over. So we flew over. All right, it wasn't a boat. We came on an
Mhm.
airplane, and
You didn't swim over? Come on.
no swimming, no swimming. So straight off the boat in a plane, and landed in New York. And then I just remember going we went to Jersey. We lived in a shitty town in Jersey called Patterson. All right, it's not good. All right, I almost died there at the age of 5. Locked
What
myself in the
happened?
refrigerator.
What
All
the
right.
fuck?
So yeah, like in the lot, like we lived in a big apartment complex, and there's like those little yard lots and stuff like that. So like I think we were moving, and somehow I crawled into a refrigerator. Obviously you can't push that from the inside.
No.
But yeah, my sister came down. She was looking for me, and she had this gut feeling to open it up, and there I was grasping for air.
Oh gee.
Holy shit.
That's my but like I said, there's certain things I remember and certain things I don't remember, and there's one specific memory that replayed over and over again when I was younger. I mean,
Mhm.
like I told you, that there was nothing there, for us, for us to grow. One of the It's a dark memory, so I'll share it with you guys. But I remember being in the stroller with my mom, my aunt, and then my cousin was in the stroller right next to me. And I remember watching as a man was walking, and all of a sudden he gets hit by a train. And all I see is his body underneath the train tracks, like flopping around. That's one of the most
shit.
like detailed memories I have of back home.
Mm-hmm.
So like my parents, like I used to have like bad dreams about it. My parents were like very superstitious, old school people. They're like, go to church, light a candle, rest that person's soul. You're not gonna have these dreams anymore. And they were right. Lit my candle, said a little prayer, no more dreams. But that is like one of the biggest memories I remember from living that over there. So it's, if you go back now, it's a little bit better. It's a little more modern. You got all your amenities. You got people, everyone's working out of the country, but coming, back in. It's easy. People are coming back to Bosnia for like vacations, just to get away, because it's just peaceful. You go see family, go do a few things. That's about it.
Okay.
But
yeah.
So
that's got to be a tough memory to deal with over the years, and
it is. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone goes through some dramatic stuff in their lives. All right, you choose what you're gonna remember, and you choose how you're gonna live your life, your path, where you're gonna choose. So, yeah.
But I mean, like that kind of goes into the whole entire reason why we have the podcast is we like getting people on to share their stories. And your trauma is going to be different than my trauma. Austin's trauma is going to be different than your trauma. And across the board, everyone kind of has their own things. And the thing that I have found over the years most interesting is the people that pretty much prevail or push past something that is bothersome, or like your parents' story of like coming over and starting a whole new life over here, and jumping the border, and now you have to worry about your girlfriend deporting you, and or them.
It's a circle of life, man. Full circle there.
It's a circle of life. You guys, this is his last podcast. We talked about it, and now he's fucking gone.
He's gone.
Well, Slavi was cool, but he's back.
Yo, they got internet over there. I'll jump on the next one.
Yeah. You can do your March for Miles over there. No, but it's cool, and I'm sure, like, in life, you've had other experiences too, and we can get into some of those things about like what it was like doing like the culture changeover and everything. I was
stories for you.
Okay, and we want to hear them, because
yeah, man.
I was stationed in Germany for 3.5 years, and it was quite different than I imagined, and there was a little bit of culture clashes, but at the same time, like I've always found it interesting to be like European, and then you probably do you speak more than one language? I'm assuming.
Yeah, I speak Serbian. Yeah.
Okay, so yep, Serbian, and you have English down to.
I mean, Serbian and firearms just go together. I mean,
yeah. Exactly.
I'm not as fluent, as I want to be. Like as you can tell, my English is pretty good here. All right.
Yeah,
so, very good.
I mean, you have an accent, you can tell, but
spelling is a problem for me. I mean,
really?
that sucks. English was not bad. I mean, me and my sister speak perfect English. Like, my parents still have broken accents, so you can tell like they're from a country or something like that. My mom kind of still refuses to speak English a little bit because she's nervous that she's going to be judged.
Right.
She had like this one instance. She was at a department store, and like she was talking, and some lady overheard her, and she was like, "Oh, where are you from?" My mom's like, "Oh, we're from Yugoslavia, Bosnia," and she was like really rude about it. She's like, "Why are you here?"
Right.
And my mom's like, she doesn't like think she hates speaking Serbian like in public
Right.
because of instances like this where like people are just like,
Yeah, and I mean and unfortunately that happens with, every culture, especially when I mean, if someone hears somebody speaking another language that isn't, English, they automatically have assumptions. They
yeah, oh yeah,
automatically have,
absolutely,
they automatically have negativities. I mean, granted, I do it too. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I hear somebody speak another language and I think, oh, my first thought is what are they saying? Obviously, because you don't understand what they're saying, and so I mean, but I personally never think like, what are they doing here? Like, I could care less where you come from, you
yeah.
know.
I mean, that's the biggest thing. I'm like, I do the same thing. So if I hear somebody speaking a language, that makes me like excited in a sense because I like learning about people. I like learning about
Right.
people's cultures, their religion, their traditions. Like I like
When
that
it's,
stuff.
yeah, and especially being with the military, you you learn so many cultures. Like you have to like you can't be focused on like one culture because the military is so diverse with culture. Like
Yeah,
there's not just one culture in the military. There's every single culture you could think of, and
absolutely.
and you interact with every single culture.
Yeah, and it should be. You should. I mean, everyone should. I mean, but sometimes just people are just arrogant in a sense.
Yeah, well,
You know?
and I mean, and some cultures, just because you're a certain culture, you automatically have a bad rap.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Like Muslims or like Serbians or anybody from overseas automatically gets labeled as a terrorist or as something just because they look like a certain or they speak like a certain thing.
yeah. I mean, I got some people call me Osama bin Slavi, because
Yeah,
of the beard, because you know, but it's all right. I don't care. I like it. You know, in our culture, when you see beards like this, it's usually like a priest. A priest has these long ass beards. That's the European, that's Orthodox kind of thing.
hmm
But
Hmm.
yeah, when you said people assume you know the worst, I just had this happen right before we got onto this podcast. So I follow this guy on Instagram. All right, he owns here.
Hmm.
He's the chef for a very nice steakhouse near me. All right,
hmm
excellent
Hmm.
steaks, by far awesome. Right, so he happens to be Albanian. I'm Serbian. There's history there because of the
right,
Kosovo War in the 90s. The Balkans,
Hmm.
all that
hmm
stuff. Right. I don't. Again, I don't give a shit. You know,
right,
Hmm.
it's 2022. Like
right,
it's happened. I have my beliefs. I have my opinions, but I'm still gonna treat you and respect you as a person. You respect me, I'll respect you.
right.
It's simple. It's
Yeah,
that
until
mutual.
you give me a reason not to.
Exactly. So, you know, this whole Ukrainian war and all that stuff. There's certain things that I'm not fond of. I'm fond of whatever.
Right,
Right.
obviously.
So I posted a picture. All right, and the picture was basically, it said about Kosovo. All right,
Mhm.
and it was just basically, it showed a picture of a monastery that was built back in like the 1300s. All right, in Kosovo, it's been there for many years and stuff like that. And then it had a picture of the United States, and like when the United States was founded in like 1451 or something like that, right? But then
Hmm.
we got our independence in 1776, right? So it was
Hmm.
it was just saying, you guys got to understand, like, Kosovo is the heart of Serbia, and that's
Right.
that's all I'm saying, right? I had, which is awesome. I had the opportunity back in the 90s to go down to Washington D.C. as a child and protest the war. Protest NATO bombing, Serbia,
Yeah.
Bosnia, and stuff like that. All right,
Right.
that's some cultures, some places, you can't do that, as you can tell in over
Yeah.
the news. You see shit happening, right? So I post that. This guy comments, right? We had interactions before. We talked about steaks, trucks, whatever.
Right.
Normal conversation. All right. Never met the guy in person, even though he lives probably like a couple miles away from me. But he sees that, he responds. He's like, the way he said it too, it was not like he was saying, I can't believe you posted this. He like put it towards like, you Serbs are all the same. You guys can't, get past of history. You're just as bad as the Russians. Like some deep shit. And I was like,
yeah.
I'm like, okay, like that's your opinion. But I was like, don't assume that every Serbian is evil. Just like I don't assume
Right.
that every Albanian is evil. All right. We are past that. This is my opinion. Respect it. That's all. Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, he went like off the deep end. So, I responded, I could have snapped, and I was at that point where I just want to tell him how I felt about everything, but I was, you know what? That time, that energy, I really don't need it. I don't need that negativity right now. It's not worth it. So, just told him, hey, respect that. This is, I respect you, whatever. This is how I feel. So I thought we ended it. I thought we squashed it, and then continued.
Yeah.
So now he's like sending me pictures of like, stuff from the war, like mass graves, bodies, and stuff like that of Albanians. And I was like, I understand your, your anger, your passion for it. I get it. I can send you pictures and, of all the stuff that happened over there too, but I'm not going to go, it's not my place.
Right.
I'm not here to argue with you. And he basically told me, hey, Serbia is Serbia, Kosovo is Kosovo. Learn to understand that Kosovo was never yours. You guys invaded us. You guys tried to kill all of us, and we didn't invade Belgrade. Whatever. And I was like, all right. I just told him, hey, Kosovo will always be the heart of Serbia. All right. There is monasteries, people that used to live there back, since 13th century, 12th century, just monasteries, churches. Who do you think was there? That's my belief. All right. I can argue with whoever about all that stuff, but I don't want to. But that's where I'm at. This guy literally unfollowed me and blocked me. All for just saying, hey, I don't want to argue with you. This is my belief. And I basically told him, I was like, if you're going to judge my character over my opinion, then you do what you got to do. And that's how I feel like everyone now is about. You can't have a solid conversation with somebody.
I mean, that's social media in general.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but that's a person that works at a restaurant right down the street from me. You know what I mean? We know what happened over there. The good and the bad, the ugly. Both sides did some shit that they shouldn't have done.
Right.
I definitely agree with that. But I basically told them, I was like, you're talking about our generation moving forward. I told them this is you. Your generation, our generation. You're not supposed to, you're attacking me because I'm Serbian, and I posted that as a Serb. So I would love to go to Kosovo to visit and see the history and the culture there, but I can't because it's not safe for me to go there, which even sucks. I have a Serbian tattoo on me. God forbid if I went there and they saw that, game over.
And why is that? Just because of so much animosity over the years from the war?
Yeah. Basically, it's there's not really any more Serbs in there, ethnic Serbs living there, just like there's ethnic, Russians living in Ukraine and all that stuff. There used to be ethnic Serbs living in Kosovo, and there's a lot of monasteries and graves that they just desecrated, just tore down and stuff like that. So I would love to go there, but is it safe for me? I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, and that makes it tough. And coming from like a combat background, and having multiple deployments and overseas in Iraq, Afghanistan, a couple other places, and one thing that war taught me was it's not necessarily, yes, it's the nation that you're fighting behind, but at the same time, like you can't judge an entire like country or an entire race or ethnic background on like an ill event that may have happened, because there's plenty of people that might be from the same ethnic background that I've traded bullets with, and I'm friends with them. Not the people that I traded bullets with, but like I just mean like I mean let me
Sure,
clarify.
Rob.
Like I have friends that are Afghanis and interpreters and good people, and I met plenty of good farmers and people over there just trying to make a living. And it's just we live in a culture now where everything is so you have, I would say the majority of people just want to like have a healthy relationship and get online and share their opinions or thoughts, or post pictures of something cool or whatever. And then you have like that small group of people that want to speak the loudest and get the most I don't want to say violent, but just like get so
Yeah.
aggressive
They
on
just, I mean,
on
they
their
just put,
opinion.
yeah, they put stuff out there to incite a response,
Oh yeah,
to,
I mean,
create a riot.
this guy, he posted, the whole independence of Kosovo. A lot of Serbs were like, hey, that that should have been us, but he posted that. Like, did it upset me a little bit? Sure. Did I react to it? No. No.
Yeah.
Hey, that's, you want to celebrate that's fine. I'm not gonna be like, hey, you're wrong for celebrating this. No. And I even told the guy, I was like, I was hired for, I work in operations management, right? That's my
Mhm.
day job. I've been in that for about like 15 years. And I worked at a #1 pet distribution center, right? The DC manager at the time is Albanian. When I got hired, the director was like, hey, are you going to be okay working with, Dennis? He's Albanian, and, you're from Serbia. And I was like, it was 2017 at the time. I was like, what's that got to do with anything? I'll
Yeah.
work with anybody.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit where they're from.
Yeah,
Just
and I think
respect me.
Yeah.
I think that's more of them just trying to cover their ass.
Yeah. Yeah. At the same time. So
You know.
I met him, right? Great guy, great leader. I think of him as my mentor. He calls me sometimes. Hey, what are you doing? Or Slavi, hey, look, I'm, thinking about, customizing a gun. I want to do something. I was like, all right, I'll help you out. Like, even when he left and I left that job and I went somewhere else and he went somewhere else, he actually called me and he's like, yo, I got an opening over here for management. I think you'd be a good fit. Come on down. See, that's the type of relationship I like. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter that, yeah, our people might have fought back, forever, but there is no, animosity. There is no anger between us and stuff like that. You're helping someone else grow. You're helping someone achieve that, next step in that American dream for them. Like,
Yeah.
I want a good career. I want, get paid well. I want to invest that money into my business. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's the type of people I like interacting with. people that are going to support you and lift you up, and you know.
And so let's get into that actually. So so you said you have a bachelor's degree, correct?
Yeah. So I have a
Okay.
bachelor's in business administration and
Okay.
a minor in marketing. And
Okay. And so what made you choose the path of like firearms, coming from a background of
business. So when I was younger, I used to hustle all the time. So I used to sell stuff. Am I going to self-incriminate myself right now? Hell yeah. Here we go. So I used to sell illegal fireworks. All right. Stuff we couldn't get here, you know, anything that went
Make
up
sure
in
your
there.
girlfriend, like future girlfriend, doesn't listen to this episode.
Hopefully she doesn't listen to this. All right.
Deported for sure.
Might as well just hand in my my citizenship right now, you know. So being around like explosives and shit like that, and then I met a person that I went to school with. I got into like, so you know, in high school you can go, you know, you're either your career, you know, college ways, or you can do trade school, right? So I went both. Like I want, like, my parents, you know, they're old school European. Like, yo, we moved to this country for a better life, so you better go to fucking college. You know, that's where you got to go. But at the same time, our high school had a 3-year program for law enforcement, and you know, started sophomore year and jumped in that and did some wild stuff with there. So like, I would have PT during class, right? We would put up the flag. We would train our underclassmen. I was lifting fingerprints. I was learning handcuffing. They had a Glock 19 simulator in school with like real time. Like, you would stand on an X and like you can see you're driving a police car and stop, and then you come out and you're like sending commands, and then they point and they have a Glock 19 laser gun and you're shooting. And this is in the fucking school.
Why wasn't that in my school? Jeez.
Yeah. So
I know,
like,
right?
it was, wow, I loved it. So like that, like, you know, one of my classmates was the guy that was like selling fireworks, and that's how I got into it. And then he was like, yo, I play paintball, so come over and play paintball. So I was like, all right, let's, you know, got into paintball, loved it. Started customizing paintball guns. That's how I started with like
how it all
building
starts.
shit. Yeah. So I was like, all right. Next thing I know, I bought a safe for paintball guns because I had like 40 guns that I just kept buying. And
it either starts with paintball guns or airsoft.
Yeah. So like, I never got into airsoft, but I do have some in the safe now because why the fuck not? So yeah, came into paintball, got rid of paintball. He introduced me to guns. Next thing you know, I bought one gun,
upgraded.
loved it. Yeah, just upgraded. Bought one gun, loved it. Next thing you know, I bought another one. And just, you know, there you are. And then I just learned that, you know, you can do just about anything to a Glock because it's universal. It's like the Honda.
Yeah, you can do
gun world.
It's the most customizable gun out there.
Yeah. So I learned that I can buy the frames, I can do all the stuff, I can design everything, I can, you know, so that's what I did. I mean, reached out to some people, did it on my own. I'm a one-man shop. I think you guys are the same, right? One-man shops?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I do everything for Rob, but, you know.
All right, so one and a half.
Work for the government. I'm kind of busy a lot of times, so I have my executive secretary over here who helps me out with everything. But on that note with the firearms, so, you know, tell us more about your business. And Austin, while he's talking about, do you have time to bring up his
No.
Instagram page?
Nope, I don't.
All right.
I have zero time for that.
He will. Go ahead and tell us more about your business, and then let's get into some of the weapon modifications that you've done.
So, Howling Lead Firearms is the business. Basically, a badass wolf. Love wolves. I mean, got them all tattooed all over me. I mean, that's my calling. So
Yeah.
all I don't do much. I'm not talented. All right, I just envision stuff. Like
So you say.
I wanted to go to school actually for car design and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know you're a huge car guy too.
Yeah, so I love cars and stuff like that. Like, like at one point I was modding my car till I hit a wall, legit hit a wall, and then I like parted out the car, and then I was like, I gotta find something that's gonna like keep me sane. And firearms keeps me sane. I love working on them. I love building them. It's just designing them. I'll pick up the color scheme. I'll call John from Weckel Coatings now, and he does all my Cerakote for the most part.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
I'll reach out to a couple other people, and they'll do the stippling. I have the equipment now to do stippling. I have a bunch of other stuff to do, just haven't got to it yet. But
yeah.
So I don't have my FFL because I tried to do that. It was a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. Oh no, last year.
Yeah,
it was last year. So last year I attempted to get FFL, got shot down by zoning, didn't go over well. Here we are.
Yeah, you had a hell of a time.
It was a hell of a time. A lot of shit happened. I tried to document all of it, and it was some shady shit.
Yeah.
Like
I told you, man, you just need to move out of Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I want to move out of Pennsylvania. Fuck, I want to go to Tennessee. I want to go down south. I feel like people down south are just fucking.
Just don't go to Arizona. It sucks.
Arizona sucks.
Yeah. No, it does not. It's fucking incredible out here, and
everyone.
It's a right-wing state.
Yeah. But
yeah, the coyotes are going fucking crazy in my backyard right now. So
I don't hear anything.
Set off little. Well, you guys would hear Allie. She's been barking back at them.
Can you shoot coyotes?
But what's that?
Can you shoot coyotes there?
Not in the
at the national park. I'm in a national park. The animals are protected here.
Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah, he lives at the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, I live in the actual national park, but they're going wild. They're as big as Allie too, so it's kind of crazy. You'll see them; they look like just mini wolves running around. They are going ape shit in my backyard. But continue what you're saying.
Oh yeah, so the whole FFL thing just fell through. I basically quit my job, invested all my money that I had, that I was planning to buy a house, into going for this FFL, and I got fucking denied.
Yeah. And that always sucks, especially when you put so much money and time into it and shit just falls through. Like I said, you just need to move out of Pennsylvania, try again.
It doesn't. The funniest shit was the one guy, the main guy who had a little fucking mallet, He was like, I can hear him. He's like, I got guns. People are the problem. Guns aren't the problem. I was like, then just fucking approve it.
Right.
Don't not approve it.
What was the reasoning for denying it?
At first, they argued that there was not enough room going down the road. All right. So it was a one-way street, but they made some stupid remarks. The one guy's like, I drive a Mini Cooper. I can't go down the road. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I drive a full-size truck. The business that owns the building does contracting, right? They have steel. They have flatbeds come there, and they offload it in the middle of the fucking street. And I was like, and you can't get a Mini Cooper down there? That was one of them. Next, they're like, parking. Okay, I have off-street parking. For the 1,200 square feet building I had off-street parking anywhere from, I had about 6 to 12 spots. So they couldn't argue that there. Then they were like, it's so close to the courthouse. What happens if someone gets a bad ruling and they go over here, they buy a gun, and they come back and shoot up the place?
That's not your fault.
Exactly. I was like,
that's what background checks are for.
Literally could happen anywhere.
Right?
I was like, they can drive a car through the
yeah.
front door.
Yeah.
I had a lady come up there and just basically like, I don't think guns should be pink, and then walked off. Okay, thanks. I
Guess
had
I won't be
another
doing any
lady come up
star-coded
there,
guns pink.
and she just starts bawling her eyes out. And she's like, I remember when I was a school aide a couple blocks away, and I used to take the kids home, and the kid was like, hey, that's where my mommy died. That's where my daddy died. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And she doesn't even live in the area. And she's
Yeah.
like protesting this. I was like, they're like, well, we don't need this in this area. I was like, okay, but like, there's a strong police presence. Nothing's going to happen.
Right.
A lot of my clientele, like people I deal with, are military and law enforcement. The guy that owns the building is an ex-law enforcement officer, like in the area. Like he retired. That's his building. So it's not like there was no security there. Like it was going to be a bad neighborhood and stuff like that.
Right. They just didn't want a gun shop there.
Exactly. Yeah. Basically. Ruled it no. All right. And I tell everybody, I mean, plan A and B didn't work, right? There's 24 other letters in the alphabet. There's another plan. There's another way we're going to get around this. Might not be now, but we'll figure it out. I'll go to another township and we'll get it going.
So let's talk about, you said you had some good stories about culture shock. What's your, I guess, biggest culture shock experience?
So when you saw like European fashion versus here, right? Like we were wearing tight jeans back then, like that was the style. And then when I came over here, people weren't wearing tight jeans. All right.
I like skinny jeans. What are you talking about, Austin?
Have you seen your legs though?
I wear slim straight jeans. I like, it's fine. But at the time it was like baggy and whatever, right? I remember being in elementary school, right? Swim class. Fucking go to swim class, right? And I'm looking like Borat, man. I got a Speedo on. And the kids are like, yo, why are you wearing girls' underwear? I was like, what are you fucking talking about? This is what Europeans.
This is a bathing suit.
Women.
This is what we wear.
Why are you wearing shorts to a pool?
Yeah.
Yo, I got fucking made fun of that whole day. I went back when I got home.
I'm sure.
Like, Mom,
I mean, I would have made fun of you too. So
yeah, like I had this awesome banana hammock going on at the age of 7. I was rocking. All right.
But were you packing?
Was I packing? I was packing. I was skinny at that time, so everything showed. Right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, I had this fucking weird ass rat tail going on too. Like that was a cultural thing, right? Like,
I remember when rat tails were a thing.
Dude, I had like a hair, like my hair was thick and black. Like I looked like one of the fucking Beatles with a rat tail, right? Wearing a Speedo. So the fashion, I remember when I was in first grade or kindergarten, and like I came home from school, and my mom's like, my parents were like, so how was school? And I was like, it was good. And they're like, how's your teacher? And I was like, dirty. And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, her hands were black. They were dirty, right? So that was a cultural shock because back home, you didn't have many Black African American people in the area. So like I've never seen a person like that before. So like when I came here and I was like, yo, she had dirty hands. My parents found out she was African American. I was like, I didn't fucking know. Like that was another like cultural thing. Like, oh, there's all kinds of people here. It's just not
just white people.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, and when like every time I learn about that, when they bring it up, and I was like, wow, I feel like such an ass, right? But like,
that just comes down to culture, though. Like,
yeah,
if you're we don't didn't grow up around it, so you don't know.
I mean, that's basically it. I mean, just that, and then like I love my culture, so like we roast pigs and lambs for like special holidays and stuff like that. And they're like, like when I went to school, they're like, "So what'd you do over the weekend?" I was like, "Oh, I had a barbecue." And they're like, "Oh yeah, you had burgers and dogs." I was like, "No, we roasted a pig and a lamb in the backyard." And they're like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's what we do." Like
Yeah.
I
Speaking
started
of that,
drinking when I
so
was
how
fucking
was
4 years old, and
yeah, especially
that's
like the food culture is hugely diverse
yeah,
between like American food and Serbian food.
yeah. I mean, the food's good. I mean, you guys are more welcome. Come over here. We got some good plum
Yeah,
brandy. I mean, I've been drinking that since I was 4 years old. All right, like
plum brandy.
plum brandy. All right,
That sounds
that's a
actually
staple in the
delightful.
Balkans, man. That's plum brandy. Like they make it also from apricot, which is fucking smooth. There's a new, it's called Kinsman. It's down in Texas. Small batch
Hmm.
brandy made by a Serbian guy. Excellent stuff. If you guys can get your hands on it, try the apricot. Smooth.
Yeah, in Germany they would do apricot stuff like
Yeah.
brandies, and they would have like apple flavored ones too, and they're
And
pretty
that's the
good.
thing, like it's nothing like alcohol here. Alcohol here, you're pouring sugar and stuff like that, right? And you're
Hmm.
unscrewing that cap, and it's like grinding because of the sugar buildup and stuff like that. Here, it's all natural. Like I brought a bottle to like a friend of mine that I worked with when I was like in high school, and the guy's like, he literally the next day he's like, "Yo, you gave me lighter fluid." I was like, "I didn't give you lighter fluid. Like you don't know how to drink it. Like you're not supposed to take shots of it. Of course, it's gonna fucking burn all the way down. It's meant to be
Yeah, sip
sipped.
it.
Yeah, you sip it. You sip it with your hors d'oeuvres and stuff like that. We used to have like meat platters, charcuterie
Yeah.
boards of the Balkan style. It was just meats and cheeses, right? And you sip this plum brandy and just relax. You can take shots of it. All right, you can absolutely take shots of
That's
it, but
that's
it's
something
not.
that's especially here in the States is that's normal is like
Yeah, but
people just take shots of
when you're
everything.
dealing with stuff like this, it's not normal because I missed my whole cousin's wedding because I got plastered. All right, off at IKEA, which is plum brandy. Like the culture, like there's a guy in the church going around with a wooden flask, right? And he's like, "Oh, for the bride and groom," and you take a sip. You're in church. You're taking a sip of alcohol in church while they're getting married, right? The kid is
I like this
pushing a
church.
stroller that is what's buckled inside the stroller is bottles of plum brandy to refill that like canteen and just hand it to people.
Jeez.
I didn't mass it. I didn't pass like the hors d'oeuvres before I blacked out.
Oh shit.
Like I missed the best part of the wedding. First cousin
But
wedding too. So it's like gone. Hammered.
ah,
So what you're saying is whenever you get married, we have to come to your wedding.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You're gonna love the food. You're gonna love the alcohol. It's a good time.
Just come to there for the food and alcohol. I mean,
Yeah. I
you're
mean, yeah.
okay, but
Yeah. You'll black out. You'll find. Next thing you know, you're gonna be in
yeah.
a vigilant, humble speedo.
Hey, who says I don't already have one?
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Please don't wear that, Austin.
Yeah, there you go.
Whatever, Rob. I gotta send you a Snapchat tonight.
Oof.
No, please.
Thank God I don't have snaps. But
Yeah,
I mean,
you got to DM me some of those brandies you're talking about. I'll see if I can find them out here.
yeah.
Order some because I'm definitely down to try stuff. Alcohol is like a part of my diet. I heavily
Hey,
enjoy it.
I mean, like whenever anybody goes back over, like they always bring back like chocolates and alcohol, like, and I mean tons of alcohol. I went back there 2017, and we. It's so funny because like here, like you're driving and you're just hitting another state, Oh, I just crossed over to Jersey, or I'm going to New York, or I'm going down. There, you're hitting another country. Like you're
Right.
hitting the thing,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Yo, where you coming from?" Right? And then they're like, "What do you got in your bags?" And we're like, "Yeah, we got some plum brandy." And they're like, "How much plum brandy?" And you got to tell them, you're like, "Yo, I got like 4 liters." right? And they're like, "Are you sure you got 4 liters?" And we're like, "All right, we got 5." Right? And they're like, "Okay, I'll pass." Or sometimes they'll stop, they'll confiscate it, or if you grease their palms a little bit, they'll let you pass. And people don't think that happens. That still happens.
Oh
We
yeah.
got fucking pulled over the one time for speeding, and basically we're like, "Yo, here's like 60 euros, just let us go." Yeah, simple as that.
Yeah, it doesn't happen here.
Yeah, no, not here, not here.
No.
Bribery, you're going
Body
right to
cam.
jail.
They'll record
Yeah,
everything.
right
Yeah.
to jail.
Yeah, pull up that meme where it's like, you cook chicken bad, right to jail.
Right? Yeah, I mean,
That- yeah, I mean,
European, but like you said, you drive somewhere, and it's another country, whereas here it's another state. I saw, like I said, you got to think of like UK is like like the eighth of the size of the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was one of the cool things about being like stationed over there was all the countries that we could drive to or easily like get on Ryanair and just fly somewhere super quick and just you're in a completely different culture, completely different food, completely different drinks, and just completely different people too.
Rob, so when you were in Germany, did you jump on the Autobahn?
Yeah. I had like a custom built BMW 3 Series, and I definitely took advantage of the no restriction zones. I was maxing out the car at like 150, and then you're like doing 150, and a Ferrari would pass you doing like over 200.
I was telling my friends the same exact thing. I was like, my cousin lives in Switzerland, so I flew to Switzerland back in 2012, hung out with them, right? And there, it's like nothing. Like you can be wearing sweatpants, right? And go into a dealership like here, and people will be like, "We're not gonna help you, you're fucking poor," right? There, you go in sweatpants. They're like, "Yo, what are you looking for? We got it," right? They had Ferraris, Lamborghinis. They had every single fucking car you wanted there. And then, my cousin's like, "Yeah, they had a street legal but it was a track Lamborghini, like Mercy." And I was like, "This thing's fucking badass." And they're like, "Yeah, you want to go test drive?" I was like, "There's absolutely no, I can't afford that shit. You crazy?" And then there's a building, and you can look into the building, and there's all the fucking rare cars. Like there was the Bugatti EB1 in there, and I was like, "Yo!" And the guy's like, my cousin's like, "This is where you got to show your money to get into that building."
Right. Well, that's just like in Dubai and stuff. They have the same thing, and cause everywhere, and they're like over there, everything's cars. Like everything's about cars.
Even their police department has fucking Lambos, Ferraris.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because they have to catch everybody.
Yeah.
Like they can't catch them if they're not driving the same cars.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas here, like you can't even go look at a Ferrari, without being like, "What are you doing?" Without if you look like a hobo, walking in to see a Ferrari, they're like, "What the fuck are you doing in here?"
Yeah, if you're rolling up in a Honda Civic and you're jumping out with sweatpants and you're like, "Yo, I'm here to see that Enzo."
They're like, are you high?"
Yeah, but yeah, like I was on the Autobahn. Cousin has a 3 Series, right? Same thing. Just like you, Rob. We were driving. We're doing like 150, 160. We're going, and all of a sudden, like, he's like, "Uh-oh, I got to move to the right." And he moves to the right. I was like, "Why?" He's like, "I got flashing lights coming." All of a sudden, 911 GT3 just passes by, and I'm like, "This is fucking awesome." But everyone thinks it's just unlimited speed limits. But no, like, when you hit a tunnel, you got to slow down because those fucking cops are waiting for you on the other end with the radar. As soon as you come out of that,
or the cameras,
they just point. They're like, "Fucking pull over." And you're like, "Fucked."
Yeah, it was all through my 20s. Like I had street bikes, and I did a lot of riding over here. And for 9 months, one of my buddies was deployed while we were in Germany, so he lent me his Gixxer 750. And it's a pretty fast bike. Like I had a Gixxer 1000, so like it was fast enough. It was quicker than the 600. It was fast enough, and that was the only place that was ever fucking terrified to be on the Autobahn, because you could be doing like a buck 80 or like close to 200 and something still would literally just fly back by you like you're standing still. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna fucking die out here. Like,
It's wild. But that's the thing. The Autobahn has like less accidents than any fucking highway because
yeah,
it's regulated perfectly. Like you got that where you can stretch your legs, and then they're like, all right, slow down when you're in the tunnel because we don't want anyone to die. And then you go by your thing again. So let's talk shit
And
now.
and most people that drive it know, like how to drive.
Oh yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
yeah, there's the fucking teenagers that just go out there and be like, yeah, I'm just gonna turn it out, hit it wide open. But there's also most people know how to drive their own.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, and like they're not driving in the left lane. Like here, like they'll drive in the left lane. And you're like, yo, like fucking move, all right? There, they
Right.
know not to be in the left lane because something's coming. Right?
There's
Something's
always gonna be
coming to
something
them.
faster.
Yeah, and it always happens, and it's just wild. It was a great fucking experience, and that's like another like cultural shock on the other side. So my uncle was like, "Yo, let's surprise your grandparents. Like, let's drive down." So it was like almost like a 6 to 8 hour drive. Like we went from Switzerland all the way down to Bosnia, and I remember hitting Croatia, right? And they're like, "You got to give it your passports and stuff like that, and you got to tell them where you're going, obviously."
Right.
And we're like, "We're just going through," and they're like, I give them my passport, right? Like I can hear them too. Like they open up, they're like, "Yo, Washington D.C." And I was like, yeah, my passport says Washington D.C. on it. Like it's a U.S. passport. So they're like, roll down the window, and they like roll down the window, and they look at me, and they're like, Slavisha. I was like, da, which means yes. And I'm like, yeah, like, what's up? And they're like, oh, okay. And they're like, here you go, safe passage.
Yeah,
Like,
and I think it was more of especially with like your name. They're
yeah,
like, what? Why is he like? Why does he have an American passport?
yeah,
Like, what? What?
yeah. I mean, that was 2012. I didn't have my citizenship then. That's the craziest thing too. Like, it took a very long
So,
time.
so actually, let's talk about that. So, when did you get your citizenship?
2017.
Okay, and so like, what did that entail? Like, for
Oh, for
90%,
me, yeah.
for 99.9% of us that have no idea, like, yeah, I mean, yeah, we like hear stories and like we read things, but like, what did that entail for you to get your citizenship?
So in the beginning, right, when you get over here, you get like one of those working visas, whatever, like that, right?
Right.
And then it's like a I-94 form, right? And we were on the assumption that like you had to renew your I-94 form, like I-94 form, like every year, and you did have to unless you applied for your green card, right? And we were on the assumption, like that's what you have to do. So for many years, I mean, I love this country, but the government kind of fucked us because they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll take your
I mean,
money
they
for
do
that because
everybody,
you
so it's okay.
obviously don't know how to go about getting your green card, right?" So that's like
Yeah.
that's like almost like $100 to $150 per person every year, So there was 4 of us at that time. So you're spending money that my parents are hardworking, like they don't have a college education, they're
Right, and especially coming from,
yeah,
you
a
don't
very poor
have,
country where we didn't
yeah,
have
like
shit.
a lot of people don't have that
Yeah,
money
exactly.
to
No,
they
we
can
didn't have
afford
shit.
every year.
I grew up very poor, and even when we came here, I grew up very poor. But I'm very humble about it because, like, I know my family can't afford it, so I never asked for it.
Right.
Like, did I do some stuff when I was younger to make sure I could afford it? Maybe. Did I steal some Hot Wheels because I couldn't, afford it? Yeah. All right, I did it. All right, it happened. But
Deported.
yeah. But
You're building a case against yourself.
hey,
Yeah.
I'm airing out all my laundry right here. Take me
I'm
away.
glad you feel safe with us and
Yeah.
all of our listeners.
Yeah, but like that was the thing. Then we got our green card, right? Green card lasts about 5 years, right? And then you can go for your citizenship. right?
Mhm.
So we were supposed to get our green card right around 2001. All right. So we had a very tragic incident, right? September 11th. Right?
Yeah.
So that
That
pushed
might fucked everything up.
that pushed a lot of things back, right? That pushed back our green card and stuff like that. So once we finally got it, after all that stuff, they're like, "Hey, we knocked off a year for you, so here's 4 years. You got to be on this green card, and then you can go apply for your citizenship and stuff like that."
Mhm.
And the green card is not green, guys. All right, so I understand it. It's just
not
an
a bright
ID.
green card. It's not
Yeah.
a bright green card
No,
that says I'm not
it's
from
just
here.
a regular fucking ID. Tells you, that you're legal, and on the back there's a strip that looks like a negative from from a picture, like negatives,
Mhm.
with a little bit green around it. That's the green card. Yeah,
It's
Wow.
not bright green. It's not a bright green card. This says
No.
I'm not from here.
Yeah, I'm an alien, right? So yeah, after that, you can apply for your citizenship. You know how many times I got my fingerprint? They fucking know me in the system. They have facial rec. They have my fucking fingerprints. Yeah, government knows me. They're tracking me. Easy. All right. So when you go for your citizenship, right? They give you a date so you can study it and stuff like that. They'll give you a book, and it's basically 100 questions, right? I even saw like the study I read about like something like 85-90% of U.S. citizens, Americans that are
I
born in
ain't
this
gonna pass
country
it.
don't know the fucking questions, can't pass the fucking test.
I guarantee you, I wouldn't pass it.
And it's just, I love history, so I love anything along those lines, even like military history. I love that stuff. So it was all U.S. history. So that's all.
Okay.
So it's 100 questions you got to study. They will pick 10 random questions. You have to answer 7 out of 10 of those questions correctly. We are told not to reveal this, but you have to read a sentence in English, and then you have to write a sentence in English when they tell you, and then you get sworn in and all that stuff. So yeah, and
then how long ago was that?
So
that you completed your citizenship?
Yeah. So here I am.
Yeah,
what year?
2017
what year was that?
when I got it. So it took a while.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I moved here in 1990.
How old are you?
I am 35.
Okay, cool. Very cool.
Okay, so how
You
long
want to take
did
me on
that
a date, Rob?
He does.
What's that?
You trying to take me on a date?
Yeah.
I mean, like, you already got the DA agent interested, so I mean, I could slide later into those DMs.
She's like, "Yo, I saw your report. I heard you make guns."
Yeah. She's just trying to get with you so she can like keep an eye on you. Because it's really an undercover job. She's just like, they're like, we need you to go date this guy. Just keep an eye on him.
Yeah, that's probably it. But yeah, I mean, it's simple stuff like, but who's at that time? It was like, who's the president of the United States? Who's the vice president of the United States?
Yeah.
Now, do you have to? Now, can you take that? Do you have to take that once, or can you take it like multiple times?
You take it once, right? But like, say you do fail, they'll give you another chance to redo the test. Some people bring lawyers or interpreters and stuff like that so they can help out, right? We just went in there. We're like, fuck it, we're going. We passed it, and then we actually like the next week like flew out to Bosnia to visit family. So
okay.
But yeah, it's just simple questions like that. Like the one sentence I had to read was like, the president lives in the White House. And then I had to write, the president lives in the White House, like in English. And they're like, all right, that looks good.
Citizenship.
Yeah. So yeah, they're like, you gotta speak. You gotta speak the language. You gotta write the language. You gotta read the language, and then you gotta know the history as well. So I still have the book, like, and it's just stuff like, why do we have 13 stars? Like who made the flag?
Jesus.
Yeah, like everything, all history and a lot of stuff people don't know about. So I brought the book to work the one day, and I was like, when I was studying, and I was reading the questions to like my colleagues, and like no one was like, I don't know that. I was like, how the fuck do you not know that? This is your history.
You're American.
I probably wouldn't know half of them.
Yeah, I mean, I can fucking whip out the book and we can answer something right now, but I still have it right here.
I mean, if it's right there, maybe read us a question or two. Let's see if we can get them right.
Oh, let's see. Let me get it out.
I'm actually concerned that
I might not. I probably won't know these. Guarantee it. I didn't pay attention to history. I didn't pay attention to history.
I liked history. History was fun. Anything on the wars were very interesting to me.
I love military history, but like all the other history I could care less about.
Yeah. No, it's this definitely is expanding our listeners' horizons, and we'll have to like maybe even take some of his questions and put them out there and see what people answer.
See if anybody knows.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and when you were pulling up his Instagram, he's definitely has some incredible gun setups.
Right.
Yeah, some of his paint jobs are sick.
Okay. Well.
All right, I think he's back.
Okay, Slavi.
So, found the book. Let me see if here we go. It literally says the Citizen's Almanac, right? The people on it says U.S. Citizen and Immigration Services, and it just tells you like all like just history of it. Ask you, how many amendments are there?
10?
No, more than that. That's like 26 or something.
Yeah.
How many are there, Slavi?
I think it's 26, isn't it? I'm trying to find
I think it's.
Need the answer key.
27?
We can Google it again.
Right now.
Googling it. 27. I was close.
27, right?
It's only off by like 17.
Yeah, I think you're thinking about the 10 Commandments.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Susan, I was like,
that's
shit,
the
that's 10 Commandments. I'm just gonna roll with this and pretend like I'm confident about this.
Hit us with another one, Slavi. If you can find them.
Yeah, if I can find.
Come on, don't let us down.
Don't let us down, he says. What is the national anthem? Was one.
Yeah. Is America the Beautiful? Or the Star
Spangled Banner.
There you go.
Yeah. I was like, isn't there a couple of them?
No, there's not a couple of them.
Who was the first president?
That's George Washington.
George. I want to say Abraham Lincoln, but that's the second one.
You're deported.
Jesus.
You're going.
God. Where am I going?
I gotta find the actual test, and I gotta send it to you guys, and you guys can like ask.
We can ask some of the listeners or put them on our stories.
Let's see. I wonder if I can find it.
It is online. I know it's online too. So
let's see. See the first one that comes up. Oh, let's see. Leave. Oh, here we go.
Oh, I pulled it up too.
It's all 11 pages.
Yeah. So, what is the supreme law of the land?
I mean, I have the answers in front of me. So.
Yeah. So we'll just ask Rob.
Yeah. I gotta go with ALY out.
The Constitution.
The Constitution? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Next question.
What does the Constitution do? And there's 3. You only had to like say one, but there was like 3 answers that were allowed.
Gives the rights to the people.
Yeah. Like,
See, so without looking at the
Cheat sheet
answers.
that you're
Yeah,
looking
without
at
looking
right now.
answers, my first thought was like it tells the government what they can and cannot do.
Yeah, basically sets up the government, defines the government, or protects basic rights of Americans.
Okay.
And then it was
So,
like,
we're deporting Rob to Germany.
yeah, so like what are two rights in the Declaration of Independence?
The right to bear arms, freedom of speech.
That's the
Wait,
Constitution.
Declaration.
Declaration of
Constitution.
Independence.
No fucking clue.
Life,
No, I don't
liberty,
know.
pursuit of happiness.
Oh,
Ah,
yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn.
Those
I've heard that
things,
before.
man.
See? You guys are getting deported.
Gone.
Name one branch or part of the government.
Judicial.
Yep.
I knew that
Supreme.
one. And that's wrong.
Supreme Court.
Who is in charge of the executive branch?
The president?
Yep.
I was like, Rob?
I would have thought that, but I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah, so
'cause
here's the
That's
other one.
too easy.
You have to know like your two state representatives, right? There'll be like
Oh,
name
shit.
one of your state
No
representatives.
clue.
Yeah.
Nope.
So
don't
then
know.
and then they're like the House of Representatives has how many voting members?
No fucking clue.
I think it's like
435.
435 G's.
Yeah.
I was gonna guess 126 or something
You're
like that.
way off.
We elect a U.S. senator for how many years?
4,
7?
8,
6.
8.
Oh, I was close.
Damn.
Like it's stuff like that. Like, in what month do we vote for the president?
November. That's
Yeah.
easy.
November.
Who signs bills to become laws?
That little cartoon guy.
Yeah.
Just a
President.
bit.
And then ask, what are two cabinet level positions?
Senator.
Cabinet level positions.
I don't know.
No,
So
not
like
either.
Secretary of Energy, you can
Oh,
say
shit.
Vice President,
Secretary of Defense.
Attorney General. Yeah. Under our Constitution, some powers belong to the states. What is one power of the states?
To fuck over everybody else? I don't
Yeah,
know.
pretty much. I mean, approve zoning and land use, which they fucked me over.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just basic.
No
Like
idea.
history.
90%
And-
of them.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
but I had to like
For
learn
real.
everything verbatim and like understand it and everything, and I'm like, it's not that bad. There were
More
13
American
original
than
states.
two
Name
Americans.
3.
What's that?
There were 13 original states. Name 3.
Washington. New York.
Maine.
New York is one. Yeah.
Maine. North Carolina.
North Carolina's one. Yep.
Vermont.
Georgia.
Georgia. Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like all East Coast states. Virginia.
Yeah, yeah,
definitely.
they are. Yeah, Virginia.
Yeah, they're all East Coast states.
Yeah, like the Federalist Papers supported the passage of the U.S. Constitution. Name one of the writers.
John Hancock.
Yeah. The writers or signers?
Writers.
No
Oh
fucking clue.
no, I don't know.
Would be James Madison, Alexander Hamilton, John Jay. Yeah, I mean, like,
Ridiculous.
when was the Constitution written?
I mean, it was signed in 1776. Does that count?
1774.
Yeah.
That's
No
the
idea.
thing. When was the Constitution written? 1787.
What? That makes no sense.
Yeah,
How does that make sense when it was signed in 1776?
yeah.
How does that make sense?
No idea.
Just pre-sign it, and then we'll write in
Yeah.
the rules
Yeah,
after.
you're right in the future.
Yeah, and then, look,
That's-
now they have like stuff from the 1800s that you have to learn, like what territory the United States buy from France in 1803.
No, I don't know.
Louisiana. Right.
What?
Louisiana Purchase.
Yeah. Name one
Oh,
war
shit.
fought by the United States in the 1800s.
Civil War.
There you go. Right. Or you could have been War of 1812, Mexican-American War, Spanish-American War, or Civil War.
Yeah.
I mean,
Rob's
that's
gonna go learn all this tomorrow.
yeah. They even bring up, they're like, name one American Indian tribe in the United States too, and they give you a list of like 20. Yeah. So like, then it's like geography too.
I just
Name
want to run
one
around with a
state that
tomahawk.
borders Canada.
Name what?
One state that borders Canada.
Maine.
Washington.
Yep.
Montana.
There's a bunch. That's the thing. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
Whole line.
North Dakota.
Oh, here you go, Rob. One for you. Name one state that borders Mexico.
Oh, Arizona.
There you go.
No idea.
I mean, yeah, it's and then holidays, symbols. Why does the flag have 13 stripes? Why does the flag have 50 stars? Yeah.
All 50 states and then the 13 original like colonies. Or...
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew that.
No,
I mean,
yeah.
But yeah, you can go online. You can go on uscis.gov and you can pull up all the 100 questions and then study.
Include it in the show notes, Austin. Oh man, that's wild. Yeah, I'm sure that stuff was taught to us, but a lot of it just went in and out.
Yeah, I remember it from like history class, American history. So I was like, oh, I got this. But I was worried about like my parents because like my dad's pretty good, but mom, like I told you, my mom's a little shy. So I was like, I hope she knows like how to, write and like answer the fucking questions. So I'm glad they like gave her easy ones.
When did they get their citizenship?
What was that?
When did they get their citizenship?
Oh, same time. 2017.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, it took forever.
Wow.
Yeah.
I figured they would already have theirs.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's like what. Like,
now the question
parents,
is, did you celebrate? Did you celebrate getting your citizenship?
Yeah, I got one day off of work to go fucking get naturalized. That's how I celebrated. Literally went to the shittiest fucking city. All right, Newark, New Jersey. Right, there's a hell fucking crime there. Right, and this like government building is like in the fucking ghetto. All right, get in there, and basically they're like, they say your name. They say, what country you came from. You stand up, right? People are taking pictures and clapping, and I'm there by myself. I was like, all right, because they give you a date. They're like, hey, you can either do it in, we can send it to Easton, and you can do it in Easton, in about 3 weeks or so, or tomorrow you can come back and we'll do it. And I was like, all right, yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. Like,
yeah,
give me my shit.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
I've waited this long. I don't want to wait longer.
Yeah, so you ready? What you want to know what the citizenship looks like? It looks like a fucking diploma with your picture on it.
What?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and then I send it out to get my like new passport, to say U.S. citizen and stuff like that. But yeah, it's basically it looks like your degree and then a picture on it.
Did you frame it at least?
No, I didn't frame it. I put it in the safe, just in case shit happens.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
But
what happens with like birth certificate or like social security number? Are you given that as well, or?
Yeah, no. I had a social security card before I had my citizenship.
Okay.
Like way back then. Yeah.
Okay.
But what about
now? What happens?
And birth certificate, like I have a birth certificate, and it says like Yugoslavia on it, but it had like different languages on there too. So like it was like a universal thing from like back home.
Okay.
Now what happens if you lose your citizenship paper?
You're not going to lose your citizenship, obviously. Like
obviously. I was just wondering, like, what would be the process of trying to get a new one? Nope, you lose it, you're done. You have to go
Yeah,
through
you're
the whole
done.
thing again.
This
Send
is
out,
the
like, you gotta
Deported episode.
Oh, I gotta tell you, you gotta pay like almost $1,000 to take the citizenship test too.
Gee.
So like, literally, you pay like I think I paid with everything together it was like $990, and then I was like, all right, let me take a test for 10 questions, see if I get citizenship.
See if I can stay here.
Yeah. Yet I've been paying my taxes and doing taxes every year,
Right,
so
right.
Yeah, even while you're waiting.
and that's a big thing for like my parents. My parents are like, look, we came over here the right way, sort of, like besides
Sort
your
of.
dad
Kind
jumping
of.
from Canada,
Kind
but,
of.
but like they got here, they filed the paperwork as soon as like my mom came with with us. We filed the paperwork, we did everything correctly, no handouts. My parents are proud people. They're like, we don't need the government's assistance, we don't need shit like that, we'll take care of it, and like when they see like what's going down in the south border and stuff like that, they're like, look at this shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and that's like, I saw someone write something about that too, like, yes, what's going on in Ukraine and Russia right now, but terrible, right? No one wants fucking war, all right?
Right.
Absolutely not. But like, what about our invasion down on the south border, right? And me as an immigrant, I'm paying taxes for people that are just coming over and doing whatever the fuck they want. That ain't fair.
No,
like I like the people, like people to come over here and get all the all the freedoms and rights that this country gave me and my family. Like, I want that
Right.
for everyone else but do it the right way. Like,
yeah.
come here with good intentions. And that's what I'm hoping you're coming in here for. And like, just do it the right way. Don't. All you're doing is like fucking up the country even more than it's already fucked up.
All right.
But yeah, come on down. We'll give you some crack pipes.
Yeah. Exactly. It's interesting times, and that kind of leads us into our kind of one of our final topics, and that's current events. And
yeah, so I don't want to get too political on this, or too
fuck
deep,
it. We
or
can
too
lean into it.
too deep into this.
I say we just go with the flow on it, and we'll see how it goes. But what's your guys' thoughts on the whole Russia and Ukraine? Yeah, agreed. What do you think, Slavi, about everything that's going on right now?
All right. Russians, Ukrainians, those are like brothers and sisters to Serbs and stuff like that. We're Slavics, all right? We're Orthodox, we're really close with Russian, Russia and stuff like that. That's our brotherhood and stuff like that. Do I want war? Absolutely not.
Right.
Ukrainian and Russian people are in the middle of something that they shouldn't be in the middle of, because it's fucking politics and it's government.
100%.
You're always going to have that fucking bullshit, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
All right. Is there some underlying history there? Absolutely. All right.
Yeah.
And it's sort of the same history with, the whole Balkans issue and stuff like that. All right. Do I feel that certain parts of Ukraine are Russian? Yes. There are Russian people, that ethnic Russian people that live in Ukraine. Like, they've been there all their lives. They're lineage, like their ancestors have always been there. It's always been like Russian and stuff like that. But do I think they should have went this path? No. All right.
This is the only reason this war is for. It's just politics.
Yeah. Do I like Putin? I actually like Putin. Everyone fucking hates the guy. I like him. And that's my opinion to it. But do I like the war? No. Absolutely not.
Elaborate on that, though. Like, let's hear you out on why you like Putin.
I like the guy because he's straightforward. He's doing stuff for the country, and he has points, all right? Like, was it UN or NATO, whatever like was developed during the Cold War,
Yeah, it was
right?
NATO.
NATO, right?
Mhm.
So his thing is like, if Ukraine joins NATO, he's basically surrounded. All right, that's his
Mhm.
fear. All right, why are we still have NATO? Why isn't NATO like disbanded and stuff like that? That was like the whole Cold War era of like going against Russia, and I understand that aspect to it, but
Mhm.
that's like if we just disbanded it, if they were, even if like NATO was like, look, we're not gonna put Ukraine under NATO and stuff like that, I think he'd be at ease. None of this shit would have happened. All right. I mean, is he a tyrant? He might be.
Yeah.
Is he a good president? He might be. Is he a bad president? He might be. I don't fucking know. Right? I don't live
Yeah.
in the country. I can't speak on it that much. But like, there are
Right.
certain aspects to. Do I think certain parts of Ukraine are Russian? A little bit, yeah. And that's all because of the history there. All right, the
Right.
history
Yeah.
from many years ago and stuff like that. Like, we've been fighting the Balkans since 1389, and that's more of a civil war between Serbs and Albanians, Christians and Muslims. It's been going on fucking forever. All right.
Mhm.
That's how I feel about it. But at the same time, I don't want war. No one
Right.
wants
Nobody.
fucking war because there's
Yeah.
always going to be
No.
fucking casualties.
Yeah.
As much as you want to avoid stuff, like shit happened, in the Balkans too. Like, that shouldn't have happened, right?
Mhm.
Shouldn't happen here either. I mean, you're just, even my family's like, they kind of stand with Russia in a sense, with the certain history of, Ukraine, but
Mhm.
Mhm.
they're very sympathetic, like, to the Ukrainian and Russian people because they're just in the middle of, like we said, politics.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how you guys feel about it?
I mean, I think the whole thing's a shit show. I mean, I think it could have and should have been handled, 100 different ways
Oh yeah.
that didn't lead to war.
Yeah.
Because I mean, seeing that the dark side of war, it's never pretty. Like no one wins from the dark side of war.
I think it's just tough to watch.
Mhm.
I took to social media last week and posted something and kind of took a little bit of a lashing, a little bit of praise on it, and it was a video of a dad like in Ukraine supposedly saying goodbye to his daughter or whatever, and he's like crying and stuff, and then
That's the bus video, right?
yeah, I
Yeah.
think so, but it ended up being a false video. It ended up being a video from like 5 or 6 years ago, and I had a
Yeah,
couple.
I've seen a lot of that going around. Is
Yeah,
like
like,
you don't know what especially with
and
the
that's
media,
the
you
problem.
don't
That's
know
like,
what's real and what's fake.
yeah, and that's like the propaganda shit. That's like,
Oh,
I mean, fuck, the
100%.
Nazis used that shit
It's still
back in
used
World
to
War
this
II.
day
Yeah, it's still, yeah, like,
for
did you see
everything.
I posted a one thing. It was like the CNN reporter that supposedly got killed back in 2021 in Kabul was now killed in Ukraine, and they used the same fucking exact picture.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So I
it's
was
all
like,
just
oh yeah, rest in peace
propaganda.
twice to you. Like,
it's some misinformation, but at the same time, like even
no,
though
there's other there's other information coming out, and it's true, but like we're not seeing all of it. I mean, there's more to it than what we see and what we hear.
oh yeah, yeah,
But
and we're getting the narrative that the media wants to spin on it. But
Hmm.
the only big problem I have with it is, coming from a background of going to combat at like 20 years old and experiencing what it's like to, take another person's life and or watch people that you care about die. And at that certain point in your life, you're just drilled up and you're ready to go. You want to go to war. You want to fight. You want to fight for your country. You want to fight for what's right. But the ramifications of war and taking people's lives, like it's a profound effect. So like, you talked about at the beginning that like, watching that person get ran over by the train has been something that's been a part of your life. I have to look back on memories as I have dark memories of, being in Iraq, Afghanistan, other places. And I worry for any of the people that are actually on the front lines doing any of these attacks. And then at the same time, like I have a lot of sympathy and empathy towards, like there was a couple nights I couldn't fucking sleep, just knowing that like I have friends that are in the Ukraine, I have friends that are in Russia, and the Russian friends are like, everyone's coming after me now, and they think that I'm a bad person because I'm Russian, and the majority of us don't necessarily look at it that way. I worry about the ramifications of casualties. I worry about the power grab. I also want, like, I hear what you're saying about the whole entire aspect of Ukraine going to the UN and or NATO and trying to like form an alliance with them, but at the same time, like to threaten with nuclear attacks on uh, NATO areas, or just like actually bombing the shit out of the Ukraine people. Like these are people like this. The problem with like modern warfare has been, I think, human casualty more than anything. And you're not fighting, like you're almost enforcing like terrorism on a nation instead of fighting a military to a military. So it's fucked. Like it's all fucked.
And a lot of it, like a lot of the Ukrainian people like have never held a firearm before. Like this is their first time like having to hold a firearm, having to go through that experience of taking someone's life to protect themselves.
Yeah.
And it's not something easy to go through.
You gotta think of that like here too. Like what if that shit happened here? Like with our government trying to take away our freedoms and stuff like that.
Yeah, we're gonna have Red Dawn, the movie.
Yeah, there you go. But no, I mean, I agree with you, Rob. Like, I've never had to take a life. I wasn't in the military. I was in law enforcement, and like I even say it even when I carry. Like if I gotta protect myself, my family, I'll do what I have to do by any means. But at the same time, I don't want to have that burden that I took somebody's life.
Right.
I mean, I don't think anyone does. I don't. It's.
Yeah, and it's one of those things
speak
too.
For you guys, like but I understand it and I feel it.
Yeah, the older I've gotten, like I have more empathy towards like the value of life, whereas in my 20s, I thought I was gonna live forever and be able to do like you think you're invincible, and you have these ideologies.
Everybody, like every young kid that joins the military has those same exact things go through, that I'm invincible, nothing happened to me, until they get out. And then they get, like you said, Rob, they get older and they realize that like you're not invincible, or you lose so many people that that like the cost of life.
You don't just lose like so many people, you lose yourself in it too. I mean,
100%.
You're not fully there, or there's a lot that goes on. I mean, I've had friends that went to Afghanistan. Their whole
convoy got
hit by IED. I mean,
Yeah.
But my friend, he's still enjoying and living life, man. Like he's got a prosthetic leg. He'll fill it with
Mhm.
beer and drink out of it. As
Oh yeah,
disgusting
we have
sometimes that is, but like,
and that's something Jordan would do.
yeah, I mean, like
Yeah.
there's still that mentality, like, hey, I am
Yeah,
still invincible.
and
They didn't take me. I'm still going.
yeah, and the people, honestly, like the people like that, like our friend Jordan, that has they've had the worst situation happen to them, and they always have the best outlook on things. They're because they've seen the worst, so they have nothing but up to look forward to. Yeah, they have dark days, of course, everybody does.
Yeah.
But they have you know they've already seen the hardest times, the darkest times. They have nothing but forward to go to.
Yeah. I'm for like even coming from like a war background, like I'm just not for war. Like I understand like
Mhm.
standing up. Like I'm kind of a little bit the opposite than you, Salvi. Like I'm more for the Russian people wanting to defend their land, which they think is their land. And granted, like I don't know all the history behind it, and I'm ignorant in some ways on that. But at the same time, like one of the biggest ramification effects of invading Iraq in 2003 is like I was part of the initial push past Baghdad to like secure land. I remember sitting in like our sniper hides and we would discuss like what we were doing and what was going to be the outcome of it. Because once you get in there and you're in multiple firefights and you're taking people's lives and innocent civilians are accidentally killed in the process from airstrikes or things
Mhm.
that your team is calling in or you know even if the combatant that's coming at you is for rules of engagement purpose is a legal target and you can paint that target, you can you know eliminate that target. The way I started to look at like halfway through the deployment and have looked at later in life is we actually created more issues by being there and having these conflicts and ending people's lives. Because I'll tell you what, if you've come into America and you go to where my parents live and you kill my parents, even if they're fighting for something that may or may not be right,
Right.
you're creating more conflict down the road. And that's
Yeah,
how like
100%.
ISIS was formed. That's how a bunch of other groups and terrorist
Mhm.
cells or just for their opinion war fighting cells. And
Because
it's hard.
in their eyes, they're doing what they think is right. They're doing what they believe is right
Yeah.
Yeah,
to
I mean,
you're taking
avenge.
away people's you're
and yeah,
Yeah.
taking
I
away
mean
people's family members, and
that's the mentality right there, right?
Mhm.
You guys going to war thinking you're doing the right thing. You're
Right.
defending a
Because
country.
we're
You're
told
helping
what to
out.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what everyone else on the other side is thinking the same thing. Hey, we're
Oh
defending
yeah,
our country. We're defending our people, our history, and stuff like that. I mean,
exactly.
yeah. It's it's
And
you
no
are
tough,
one
and
wins.
basically fighting yourself in a different form, different
Yeah,
religion, different face. Like
yeah. And like I
you're
said, no one
literally.
wins. No one wins in war.
Oh, absolutely not.
Like there is no winner.
Oh,
Like
there's
yeah,
always a winner, and it's always somebody higher up pulling the strings, making the money.
right.
That's how I see it. I mean, nothing
yeah,
else, good comes out of it. Like
Yeah,
you lose people, you know, no one, that's
yeah,
how it
hundred
is.
percent.
You destroy the land, which then has to get rebuilt, right?
hmm
You're trying
That
to
we end up
rebuild.
that either you end up paying for or someone else ends up paying for.
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, nothing
yeah,
nothing good comes out of war. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. Absolutely. It's tough
that's what.
times, and it's kind of scary. Like it's just I have a lot of friends that are still in that are on standby, and
yeah.
you know have been moved to places to get ready, and just
Mhm.
I don't I don't know. Like it's tough because like one side of me, like the fighting warrior side of me says, we should have people over there helping and supporting this. And the other side of me says, no, like I don't want any of my friends to
Right.
go deal with any of that stuff because it's prolonged effects. It's
Yeah.
what leads us to doing things like fucking March for Miles because we have so many fucking veterans that are so fucked up from the things that they experienced over there, doing what they thought was right, and it just creates, just I don't know. It's a tough subject, and
for sure.
but it's currently happening. It's the
Yeah,
current world that we live in right now.
And unfortunately, there's always going to be war. Like, I don't think war's ever going to go away because, unfortunately, that's how some people like to deal with conflict. Like, is the only way they know how to deal with conflict is war. So there's no matter what, there's always going to be some sort of war going on.
Yeah. The only thing I would say too is, we get the luxury of sitting here and doing this podcast. Well, like one of the girls I know from Russia, like messaged me the other night that she was just scared. And would I send her some memes because she's just scared right now. And, is there anything you can do to help me laugh? And, I felt for her, man, because like it's a fucked position to be in.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, and that's happening like in their countries. Well, we're sitting here, fucking armchair quarterbacking what we think about it because the reality is like we get the luxury of doing that. Well, they're
living it and
living it exactly.
Doing it.
So yeah, it's pretty fucked.
And
regardless,
I gotta piggyback on what you said earlier. Like the ratifications of people here that are Russian and being targeted and stuff like that. That place I took the girl for the date, right? They posted a video that they poured out all Russian vodka. They're boycotting Russian vodka and just pouring it all out. Like
it's not. It's
why
stupid.
are we
that's
doing
ignorant?
this? Like, or
it's not the Russian people that are the problem.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's
it goes back to what you said at the beginning, like the whole like Albanian guy that you got in an argument with.
It's all about stereotype.
One, you can't absolute something.
You can't
like
single out every single person. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's always going to be evils inside of people.
Oh yeah.
But it's not inside everybody.
No, not at all.
Like people need to realize and understand that there's evil people out there.
And unfortunately, that happens with everything. Yeah. Like if there's one bad apple in something, it gets spread, to make it seem like everybody is that person.
Yeah, like the whole like law enforcement.
Yeah, law enforcement.
That whole
everybody.
Thing.
Yeah.
One bad apple. That's all it takes. Yeah.
Well,
let's go on. Let's go on to
HCI. Like brighten this up a little bit because it's very depressing. And honestly, like thoughts and prayers to the people 100%. Over there. Like I don't personally pray, but like just we do
good
give
vibes,
a shit. Like good vibes, exactly.
Both sides.
Especially to both sides, like on both sides.
Because
100%,
it's not,
like,
it's
everyone there just
because not everybody wants this.
No, absolutely.
It's not, it's not one-sided.
Yeah. No, I mean you got Russian people protesting in Russia against the war.
Oh yeah,
and then they're going to jail, and probably to never see the light of society again.
Oh yeah,
like it's
jails over there aren't like jails over here. So.
Right? Not at all.
No,
jails
you
over
don't
here
have the
like
same rights.
Spas.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Well, unless you got anything else, Slavi, that you want to talk about, we're gonna jump into some super fucked up questions, Stats.
Oh, let's go to the super fucked up questions. Let's brighten this up.
Yeah, let's warn people too who are new to the podcast, or for like my parents that might be listening.
Don't
This is
listen
the
to
part
them.
where you cut out, because ATI is answer to the internet. It's random questions that Austin primarily pulls, and I occasionally help find.
You don't do shit. What are you talking about?
Last week, I think I did all of them, but
You did, and they sucked.
I thought they were good. But anyways, these are questions that we pulled from the internet. They're would you rathers, and they're just a bunch of good and or fucked up ones. I'll lead us off.
Okay.
Would you rather be able to eat anything you want and have a 6-pack, or have to only sleep 1 hour a day and be fully rested?
What you got,
So,
Slavi?
6-pack or sleep an hour?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, give me that 6-pack.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, give me that 6-pack, because these tactical muffin tops ain't working.
What about you, Austin?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go 6-pack. I mean, well, granted, the sleeping only an hour a day would be nice because then you could get a lot more shit done in the day. I think having a 6-pack, be able to eat whatever the fuck you want would be nice.
Yeah. If they knew that I could sleep 1 hour and be well rested, my fucking job would fuck me. It's like,
Right,
hey, you
right.
gotta stay 20 hours, right?
Right. That's why you just work for yourself, Slavi.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with sleep 1 hour, because I'm pretty much there with fitness, so like I could just make up some of that time.
Ain't nobody want to hear your excuses.
No, I think I'm gonna go 1 hour, just because 23 hours in a day to be able to accomplish it.
As I said, you can get a lot of shit done in that time.
I know. So I'm leaning that. I'm doing 1 hour.
Okay, next one.
The guy that's in the best shape goes, 1 hour sleep.
Right. Would you rather die via the cardboard compactor or being stuck in the freezer?
Fuck.
I was already in the freezer. So.
Right. It's funny. When I heard you say that, I was like, "Fuck!" I have one of those in the questions.
Flashbacks.
Right.
Yeah. So would I try to suffocate to death? Like with no air, or would I just be squished?
Freeze to death?
Yeah.
Yeah, freeze to death, or
I'm talking about like one of those walk-in freezers, though.
Oh, just freeze to death,
yeah.
I don't know.
Would you rather freeze to death or be squished to death?
Fuck, I don't know.
Pick.
You gotta pick. You gotta pick one.
Pick first. You gotta pick one.
No, pass. Rob, you go first. Damn.
All right, I'll go freeze. I've been borderline hypothermic up in the mountains in Alaska, and I think we talked about this on the last episode, or like recently. Like there's like a warm sensation that usually comes over people as they're like getting ready to go into the severe points.
Yep.
Yeah, the last minute. So I'd pick freeze to death, just because I think the other way would be insanely painful.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go freeze to death too. What are you gonna pick, Slavi?
This is repressed memories.
Fuck, I don't know. Like,
you want to be squished to death or frozen to death?
Yeah, but like I do like pain, so let's go with freezing. Gee. I think freezing would probably be all right. If we're just going into I guess like a freezer,
basically,
or
say you accidentally lock yourself in one of those big walk-in freezers and you can't ever get out.
Fuck, I'd be eating all the ice cream and dying peacefully.
There you go.
No, you'd lock yourself one that's probably empty.
Oh yeah. Then why the fuck would I walk in there?
All right. You're like, damn it, we're freezer. We can't get out now.
Okay. Would you rather be locked in a room full of spiders with the lights on or off? Oh. Fuck.
So you're in the fucking room regardless. So.
Yeah, you're fucked. But you just want the lights on or off?
Like on or off? I think it's a difficult question because you can either see the spiders or you can't.
I'd rather see them so I can step on them versus me standing in the dark and those motherfuckers crawling on me.
All right.
All right,
I'm
so
I'm in that favor too. It'll be
Yeah.
terrifying, but at least you have a fighting chance.
Right?
How about you, Austin?
Yeah, definitely lights on.
Yeah,
The worst
lights
thing, the
on.
worst possible thing would be you can't see anything.
yeah, and
That's like
they're
even
crawling
more
on you?
terrifying.
No.
Dude, I
Right?
was the other night I was on the couch doing something here. We have spiders here quite a bit, and like I'm actually worried about the tarantulas that already migrated from the park, but they'll be back this like spring and summer.
I hope they
And
bring moths.
oh fuck mobs. Anyways, like I feel something just like tingling up my arm, and I look at Allie to see if it's like her tail like hitting me or something. And it's a fucking giant spider just walking up my arm. I'm like, what the fuck? And I flick it off real quick. I'm normally not too scared of them. It's
Yeah.
like I end up capturing it and putting it outside, so it probably froze to death, which is kind of fucked up.
Fuck spider.
But it scared the shit out of me. But at least I could see it and like defend myself.
Okay. The next one are super fucked up. Are you ready, Slavi?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Oh
These are
god.
like mild.
Oh, this one's bad.
Would you
The
rather
next
walk?
two are bad.
Would you rather walk in on your mom masturbating or your dad?
Oh god
Oh.
damn. Oh shit.
I didn't tell you they're
Studying
easy.
for their citizenship.
Yo,
Jerking off to the
it's-
book.
It's gonna have to be dad because
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
just
Austin, you have to watch your mom. Oh no,
Oh,
you have to
yeah,
watch
no,
your dad.
oh.
Yeah, I'd definitely go dad. All
Yeah,
the way.
dad. That's not easy to see, but that's a little bit better.
Yeah.
I think. I
Yeah.
wonder how a female would have answered that.
Probably good.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that yeah.
Yeah. Because I wonder if we're cool with it because we are dudes.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I might ask someone occasionally talking to. Well, I
Occasionally.
better not say occasionally because she might listen to this
I'll
podcast.
send you a message right now.
I'll ask her when we get off the podcast what she would do. I'll
Okay.
get back to you.
The
All right,
next one's super fucked up.
The last one. This is really fucked up. Would you rather be fucking your dog and your dad walks in, or be fucking your dad and your dog walks in?
Yo, who the fuck comes up with this shit?
Dude,
I found them on
it's the
Reddit.
internet. They're so like we
I
have
found these
like
on
probably
Reddit.
about like 200, 300 of these just on random.
Would you rather fuck your pet or peg your dad?
And have the other one walk in.
At least my dog probably wouldn't judge me walking in, but
That's what I was thinking.
wow. This is wow.
It's
Yeah,
bad. Like I don't even want to answer this.
I don't want
Right?
to answer this. People are like, "Yo, we're not following these guys anymore." You can see all my fucking followers gone.
Which one, Slavi? Come on.
God.
Let's make Austin answer this one first. Actually, go ahead, Austin.
I mean, I was thinking the same way Slavi was. I wish my dog wouldn't judge me.
Yeah, but I'm not saying I'm gonna fuck my dad. So
That's
ain't
the
happening.
problem. Like it's fucked either way.
Yeah, you're screwed either way, literally.
I'll be
No,
doing the
one of
screwing.
them is
but,
screwed either way. What you got, Austin?
I said I was gonna do. The second one is probably the best bet.
You gonna fuck
What,
your dad?
You're gonna fuck your dad?
Are you gonna fuck Allie?
Bro, I'm not up yet. This is a fucked up question that I have been debating, and I'm basing my answers off of what you guys are saying at this point. Trust me, like I'm trying to figure this out too. This is like a bad one. All right.
I just want to know
Slavi.
what the fucking aftermath of that is. Like, do you go to therapy? Do you put your dog for adoption? Like,
Oh, you
Does your dog like it? Like, what the fuck?
You know, it's one thing putting peanut butter on your dick and letting it lick off. It's another thing fucking your
I mean,
dog.
we've all done that, right? That's normal, right?
I don't have pets. Okay. So
That's how you got Allie.
yeah.
Does it have to be my service dog? Can it be another dog?
No, it has to be Allie.
No.
Full service dog, huh?
Full service dog.
I guess I'll answer.
Okay.
I can't fuck a dude.
Yeah. You can't fuck a dude.
So you're gonna fuck Allie and you have your dad walk in.
I'm gonna fuck a dog, not Allie.
There he is banging a chihuahua.
Great Dane.
Your dad's gonna walk in. What the hell are you doing?
We're close, Dad. I swear. All right. Yep.
Dad, I threw the ball. The dog backed up.
Yep. Now my balls are inside. Oh, I hope no one listened to this last question. This is so bad.
Yeah, I was about to tell all my friends, yo, you gotta check out this podcast. I'm gonna be
just stop when they get to ATI. The third question, you're good. End it there. When I tell them these are shitty questions or weak questions,
fuck. Let me write your questions. I'll make some fucked up ones and I'll send them to you.
You're more than welcome to send us some.
Which one you picking, Slavi?
Would you? Here we go. Would you? Would you eat ass and she shits in your mouth, or would you?
You can't pick another question. You have to answer this one.
Oh, I'm fucking a dog.
Fucking the dog. Okay.
Yeah.
Austin's pegging his dad.
Yep.
Oh man. We'll call this fucking dogs or getting citizenship or something like that. Or getting deported. Fucking dogs and getting deported.
I might get deported if I fuck a dog.
You might get deported if you fuck your dad too.
That's I think that's incest, right? I think that happens.
Okay. All right. What was your one that you had? So a girl, you're eating ass and she shits in your mouth, or
you're eating your best friend's ass.
How is that
a girl?
Yeah. I was like, how is that
in your mouth?
Wait, hang on.
Why would I eat my best friend's ass?
You're gonna eat my ass?
Yeah, why would I eat Rob's ass?
I don't know.
I feel like the option is like fucked either way, but I'm gonna go with the random.
It's the same fucking question with like fucking a dog or your dad. Either way, you're fucked. It's just they suck.
So both of them are gonna shit on you. So it's either your best friend or a random.
I'm not eating Rob's ass, so
I don't blame you. I'm not eating your ass, so I'm going with the random girl. This is a girl, right?
Well,
whatever you're into, Rob. Who knows what you're into, Rob?
What are you picking, Slavi?
Her? Yeah, I guess.
Her. Yeah, her. Okay, makes sense.
The DEA agent before he gets deported.
Yep.
She's not gonna. I'm gonna be like, yeah, how did the podcast go? No, it got canceled. I don't know what happened.
It got canceled, and then you're gonna get tagged in it tomorrow, and just like, no. Why won't he reshare our stories? What the fuck?
I'm already fucking Shadow Man. This is gonna be great.
Okay. We digress. Is there any special projects you got coming up, Salvi, that you want to like plug, or anything you want to plug or talk about before we kind of wrap this thing up?
Not really. I mean, I just gotta piggyback on you guys again with the the march, right?
No, yeah,
22
March
miles, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I love that. I mean, more companies should fucking do stuff like that especially for our veterans and stuff like that, and law enforcement and stuff like that. I mean, I'm all about it. I would love to participate with you guys on your next project, and
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
I mean, I appreciate you guys bringing me on here, share my
Of course,
story
man.
with you.
Like I said, and you said you were boring, yet you still had a great story.
Yeah. Yeah. We're at 2 hours and 15 minutes. Like, it's a pretty good podcast.
Yeah. My alarm's set in like 5 hours. It's great.
I told you don't need sleep.
Yeah.
Just make sure you have lots of caffeine tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a tattoo appointment too, so it was great.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Just fall asleep while they're inking on you.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else, Rob?
I was just gonna plug one more time, get out there and get with us on the March for Miles. I can't remember if I brought this up earlier because we talked about so much today. But if you guys got questions on how you're supposed to enter the miles and everything, just reach out on our DMs. The goal is, though, not this Wednesday, aka tomorrow, or currently for you, Salvi.
Man, he's just fucking up my name.
You said Salvi.
Now, like I'm gonna fuck it up again, so I'm gonna keep
He's like,
going
hey,
with
this
it.
guy's fucking a dog, so call him Salvi.
All right, so
I mean, I don't know what you Serbian guys are into, I mean.
It's usually goats.
Slavi. There we go. I got it back. I regained myself. All right. So if you're gonna turn in your miles, what we're asking is next Wednesday, make sure you DM Saver 6 and Vigilant and Humble. We just need like photographic evidence from whatever app you're using for tracking your miles to show from the first until whatever next Wednesday is. And then we're going to collect again the following Wednesday and the following Wednesday. And then I think it ends on like a Thursday. We're going to create a leaders board and try to see who's kicking ass and stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it that I got to plug. Get out there and get after it. Anything on you, Austin?
Nope, I think you covered it, man.
All right. Well, this was the Fight Like Hell podcast, episode 50. We appreciate you guys very much. Go like, subscribe, give us a rating on Spotify. Peace.